Hi, my name is Sherelle McClafferty, and I am currently determined to finish my PhD in rhetoric and writing at Bowling Green State University. But in my heart, I am a writer of all the things. Today, I'm talking to you about my poetry, but if you get the chance to Google me or follow me on Twitter at Awesome Sherelle, you'll find that I also write some fiction and some micro and some other things. Like I said, all the things. But today I'm talking to you about my poem called Division of Labor. And this poem is a really interesting poem in terms of how it came to be and sort of the things that I'm playing with in it. So I'll just start with how it came to be, which was in the terrible spring of 2020 that we all survived, yay us. I was finishing my MFA and was writing a whole bunch of poems. And something I do when I'm really trying to generate stuff is I like to return to older stories. So a story that I really play on here is the story of Athena's birth. So Athena is the Greek goddess of war and strategy. But a lot of people don't know that she was born out of her father's head. And her father, like everyone's father, is Zeus. I don't make the rules. He's just everyone's father in Greek mythology. And if you read the story, depending on the versions that you read, sometimes it's played for laughs, sometimes it's played a little bit more seriously. But essentially, Zeus had this terrible headache. He called up his two best buds and said, like, help me out. They literally split his head open and a whole woman came out. But if you're like, how did that happen? You start to dig a little bit further and you find out he ate a pregnant woman. And I think that's worthy of exploring. So I definitely had to play with that a little bit. An obsession with mine with poetry is its ability to kind of transform images. So that's something I tried to do throughout. And I also really like to play with scale. So instead of simply telling that story of Zeus and Athena's birth, I decided to tell the story of kind of marital drama and kind of fighting over something seemingly mundane. So I'm going to be talking about like who's doing what chores. That's why it's called division of labor. But I'm putting it on that scale of like gods and goddesses and kind of their trials and tribulations. So keep an eye out for scale, keep an eye out for transformation. And I'm going to read that poem for you now. Division of labor. My husband demands applause for washing a dish and another until the sink empties. He tells me again about Zeus, how a woman grew in his brain until her body was unbearable. Imagine being split right down the middle, the bone offering to break. Her name was Athena, but I doubt he remembers. Every boy deserves a fantasy where he is a god, a father, a hero who believes in good. Outside, the neighbor's children slam sticks against the house, even with the wasp nest nearby. They're playing. He doesn't want to take ownership of these strangers. I close the curtain. The sun's light is cut off and the kitchen loses its sterility. A well-trodden argument offers to play itself. What was in his stomach? Her name was Metis, but only women remember. Every girl marries a god who believed in good at the time. Imagine your body swelling like a bud, the blood given to grow another, only for a father to appear and consume you both. He doesn't look, doesn't answer. An army gathers outside, black and yellow stripes the window. He doesn't drink, but his face says he wants to. We move to another room, and I change the subject without changing the subject. I tell him again about the seahorse, how the male births 1,000 miniatures of himself and feels no attachment. We do, but we are not animals. We are, not from the sea, but we are. Stings. Small voices scream for parents who have never been in the backyard while we argue over who is deserving of hurt. All right. Thank you so much for listening.